Hi guys, this is Jiggie, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So in this video, I will be sharing with you some tips and tricks that you can apply in order to master what is referred to as a no-fail beauty light. So before anything else, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, now is the perfect time to do so because I am giving away a beautiful backdrop from Kate Backdrop. It's a 1 meter by 2 meter collapsible, double-sided, non-reflective backdrop, and the design will be dependent on the winner. In other words, I will allow the winner to choose whatever design they want. Now it's going to be very easy to join. All you have to do is follow the mechanics in the description below. So in today's video, as I said earlier, I will be discussing some tips and tricks in order for you to save some money and master the beauty light. In other words, the clamshell lighting, or what they call the butterfly light. So there are some things that we might have to spend on, or some things that I will discuss that might be a bit expensive, but there are some that we could do with just this one. This is a black illustration board, where a couple of black illustration boards that I taped together, and this will serve as our backdrop. So I will hang it here in my Manfrotto Autopole, but basically, if you don't have this at home, what you can do is you could just tape this in your wall. Because the point of this video is for me to be able to share with you guys that you can actually do this beauty light in a space as small as this, which is 2 by 3 meters or 6 square meters. Then now, the light that we are going to be using is of course my Sony f60RM, but you can use any flash that's at your disposal. It really depends on what you have with you. But this for me is the key for this particular setup. This is the Photic Cerberus. The Photic Cerberus is basically a flash holder. As you can see here, my flash is mounted via this grip here, so it makes it very, very stable. But the most important thing is that it comes with a Bowens mount. This Bowens mount will now attach to this beauty dish. This beauty dish is the Photix Luna 60 beauty dish. One thing I like about this is not like your standard beauty dishes that are very difficult for you to be able to transport. This one is foldable. Plus, it's got a mask that's a perfect circle, so that the catch light is a perfect circle similar to that of a beauty dish. And at the same time, inside, it also has the reflector that removes all the hot spots that a beauty dish is known for. So this is a Bowens mount that attaches directly to the Photic Cerberus, like so. Okay, so why is this Cerberus very, very important? Because the key to lighting the butterfly or the clam-shaped lighting, or this beauty light, as whatever it is that you want to call it, because it's called so many things, but I just call it the beauty light, is that this modifier should be at center to your subject. In other words, more often than not, beauty lights or clamshell lighting like this, you need booms in order for you to put the light over a certain area, and you could shoot right underneath it at perfect center to your subject. Now, this one will work with a speed light because what you can do is the Cerberus comes with a tilting bracket. So you can actually tilt the bracket to the side, like so, like that. You could tilt it to the side, then adjust this knob, because this is a separate attachment here. So you could adjust it now for it to work like a tiny boom. So by doing this, you can now see that I can actually shoot and put my camera here, and my camera will be at center of the modifier. Then if you want to tilt it, all you have to do is loosen this up a bit and twist it down. So you could now fix the direction of the light. Now again, this one will only work with a small setup like this, because this is not capable of holding on to those really heavy strobes. Okay, so this is the heart of the clamshell lighting. But of course, when you say clam or butterfly, you need something underneath, and this is where this one comes in. This is just an ordinary 5-in-1 reflector. This is actually a bit too big for this one, but this is the only one I had in the studio. So you could actually use a smaller one. It's going to be easier for you to manage. But this one works well also because it creates a bigger light. So it comes with silver here and white here. So today we might use the silver side. Okay. Now this Photix Luna Beauty Dish also comes with this one, this accessory, which is a grid, which is something that's actually very important for a small space like this, because the key here is to be able to control the spill of light, to be able to get our background pitch black. Okay, so let me just set this up and call in our model and let's start shooting. So the camera that I will be using is my Sony a7R Mark IV, and the lens that I have attached is the 24-70 2.8 GM. Normally, I would shoot this with an 85mm if I was shooting tight, but this time I want to compose it half body, so I'm shooting at 50mm, and my camera height is approximately chest level or a little bit higher of my subject so that I don't have any distortion. So I'm controlling my flash using the Sony WRC1M. This is a remote commander that wirelessly controls my Sony f60RM. The nice thing about having a full Sony system is that when I attach this one, it actually allows me to control my flash through an in-menu system built in the camera. So it's a lot easier, to be honest. Just trust me on that, it's a lot easier to use. So right now, I'm giving you a live feed of what my camera is seeing through the help of my Hollyland Mars 400S Pro transmitter, and I'm recording directly to my phone. Therefore, whatever it is that you are seeing now is straight out of camera. Okay, so let's welcome my model for today. Of course, it's my lovely wife, Coco. Thanks again, babe, for doing this. And as you can see, we've already set up my flash here. My camera is directly in line with Coco, and the center of this modifier is also at the center of my camera. That is the key to this beauty light. So let's go through my settings now. I'm set at 1/250 f2.8 ISO 100. My actual exposure I will show you guys now is basically this. It's pitch black. So in other words, everything that we are getting now is coming from my flash. The moment I turn on my trigger, it automatically turns off my live view in the camera. Therefore, I can see what I am shooting. But again, this is really what my exposure is at. So everything, again, I will repeat, everything that you will see from here on end will be straight out of camera, and the light that you're getting is the light coming from this flash. Okay, so let's turn it on. My flash power is now set at 1/16th power. This is set at group A, and I'm gonna take one test shot, but can you at least give me the pose already? There we go. Perfect, fantastic. Chin down a bit, nice. Okay, so that is my proper exposure, but as you can see, we are actually getting a little bit of spill in the background. Therefore, my background is not pitch black. In this case, I actually want it to be pitch black. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna use this accessory. So this is the grid. What the grid does, if I put it right in front of the modifier, is that it controls the spill of the light. In other words, I am removing the light that is hitting the background. Because of the way this light is angled, it will focus the beam just on Coco, as compared to earlier. I was getting light from here, which was hitting the background, and light from here going down. So right now, all of a sudden, from a wide angle light, it automatically just shrunk and focused the light this way. So from where Coco is standing here, that is where the light is going to be hitting. Now, the downside of having the grid is, of course, we are going to lose power. So let's take one test shot now and see how it's going to look like. So as you can see, the light is a bit underexposed. From the back of my camera, all I'm going to do is press a button. I can now access the settings of my flash and make it one stop stronger at 1/8 power. Let's take one more shot, please. Very nice. Now, because of the position of the light, as you can see in the picture I'm showing you now, because of the position of the light here, we are getting a lot of shadow here underneath the face. That's why we need another secondary light source, which is normally just another reflector like this. Okay, so let's try on the white side first. Okay? Look at that. There is no difference. Why is there no difference? Because again, because of the grid, the beam is focused so much on Coco that we're not getting any light here that's spilling. So there is one technique to this one. That's why I love this beauty dish so much, is because I can remove just part of the grid. Since it's made out of fabric, what I can do, as you guys can see here, is that I can just clip this part here, bring it up, so that half of the modifier is actually spilling towards the bottom, therefore hitting the reflector and bouncing back and opening up the shadows here. Okay, so let's fix this. There, perfect. There you go. So you've got half of the light here now spilling on the reflector, and that's the one that's going to bounce up and open up the shadows here. So let's go for the white first. There. Okay. Without touching anything else, you're good. Good, perfect. Put your arm down. There. Okay, beautiful. As you can see, you're now opening up the shadows here a little. But we're lacking, I think we're lacking a bit more specularity. So let's see how the silver side will turn out. Let's just shift it to silver. All right, okay. There we go. Now you see that we opened up the shadows in underneath Coco's face. I think this is perfect. And from here, we just start tweaking the pose, because I think, babe, you shouldn't do your chin down. Extend your neck a little bit towards the camera. Okay. Move here. All right. Beautiful. Okay, I'm really happy with this, and as you can see, it's a very, very simple setup. But let me go through all the little things that I did to tweak this particular layout. So it started off with this one. This is the most important. For a small setup like this, and if you're on a budget, this type of flash mount is actually perfect, because again, you've got this one, the tilting arm, that allows you to be able to mount, number one, the modifier, a Bowen's mount modifier on your speed light, and at the same time, you can have the flash directly in line with the center of the camera and the center of your subject. And this one also allows you to tilt the light up and down in order for you to direct it and miss the background, because for this one we wanted the background to be completely black. Now the background, which is made out of illustration board, this is 20 by 30 inches, and I just put two together to make it a little bit bigger. You could buy that in any bookstore or any art supply, and it is approximately about 1.5 meters away from the subject. Now if you had more space, let's say minimum is more or less about 6 feet or 2 meters, that one will give you an easier time to control the spill of the light on your background. But since we are working with a small studio, we have to be able to do all these little things in order for us to be able to control our light. Next, we had our beauty dish, again, with a grid in order for us to be able to focus the light. But since we focused the light too much, we weren't able to get any reflections or light bounce back to open up the shadows underneath her chin. So what I did was I used the fabric grid and basically just brought it up to reveal the light underneath, for it to be able to spill going down towards the silver reflector, the silver side of your reflector, and bounce back and open up the shadows underneath Coco's chin. So basically that was it. That's how simple it was to be able to create beautiful portraits. Don't you think it's such a go-to light? Anybody just really looks good with this type of beauty lighting. Now, we want to thank again Mela Jimenez for helping Coco do her makeup virtually. If not for her, we wouldn't have been able to do this series. And if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, as I said earlier, now is the perfect time to do so, because we are giving away a beautiful collapsible backdrop. It's 1 meter by 2 meters, double-sided, printed on non-reflective fabric. And the best thing about it, the winner can actually choose the design that they want. Now to enter is very easy, and again, I'll put it in the description below. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until the next one.